Look, I have been around the galaxy for about 300 cycles. I have seen things that would make your tertiary brainstem collapse into a singularity of pure terror. I watched the Kreevak swarm devour an entire moon in 47 minutes. I witnessed the synthetic collective calculate the exact moment of your death just by scanning your dental work. I even survived a business negotiation with the merchant lords of Tavares, and let me tell you, that almost killed me twice. But nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, prepared me for humans. My name is Qix. Single syllable, easy to remember, impossible to pronounce correctly if you only have two vocal cords like some primitive species I could mention. I am a trade liaison for the Galactic Commerce Authority, which is basically a fancy way of saying I am the poor fool they send to make first contact with species that might want to buy our stuff, or, more likely, try to eat our sales team. When the distress beacon lit up from Outpost Vex-Nine, I knew something had gone catastrophically wrong. Outpost Vex-Nine was supposed to be a simple mining colony on the edge of the Terran Exclusion Zone. Yeah, that is right. The Terran Exclusion Zone. The big empty space on every star map with the words "Do Not Enter" written in approximately 47 languages, including 3 dead ones. Humans had been quiet for about 6 months after their little disagreement with the Kalthen Empire. You remember that conflict? No? Let me refresh your memory banks. The Kalthen showed up at Earth with a fleet of 2,000 warships, demanded immediate surrender, and gave humanity exactly 1 standard hour to comply. Humanity responded by destroying the entire fleet in 38 minutes. Not scattered them, not damaged them, destroyed every single ship. The Kalthen Empire, which had conquered half the known galaxy over the course of 12,000 years, took one look at the smoldering wreckage and decided that retirement sounded pretty good actually. Their emperor literally abdicated and became a farmer. A farmer, growing vegetables on some backwater moon, muttering about how turnips do not shoot back. So when Outpost Vex-Nine sent out that beacon, my supervisor, a blob of sentient gas named Horvath who thinks danger is something that happens to other people, decided I should go investigate. Alone, with minimal security. Because apparently my life insurance policy was getting too expensive. The outpost looked fine from orbit. All the lights were on, power signatures normal, no obvious signs of combat damage. I docked my shuttle and entered through the main airlock. My scanner clutched in 3 of my 4 primary appendages because I am not stupid, regardless of what Horvath thinks. The corridor was empty. Sterile. Too quiet. Then I heard it. Laughter. Actual, genuine laughter echoing through the metal hallways like some kind of auditory hallucination. I followed the sound, my survival instincts screaming at me to run back to my shuttle. But curiosity is a fatal flaw in my species. We invented the phrase, died investigating, roughly 4,000 years ago, and we have been living up to it ever since. The laughter led me to the cafeteria. I pushed open the door and froze. There were 7 of them. Humans. Sitting around a table, playing some kind of card game, drinking what my scanner identified as a mild toxin that humans apparently consume recreationally. They were relaxed. Casual. Like they owned the place. Which, technically, they did now. Because scattered around the cafeteria, tied up with what appeared to be their own bootlaces, were approximately 40 Kreevak warriors. The same Kreevak who devoured that moon I mentioned earlier. The same genetically engineered killing machines that had a 98% success rate in ground combat across 600 documented conflicts. They were whimpering. Actual warriors of the Kreevak swarm were making small, pitiful noises while 7 humans played cards and completely ignored them. One of the humans, a female with red hair and a smile that could cut through battleship armor, looked up at me. "Oh, hey there, little guy. You from the station management? Because we found a serious pest problem. Gonna need to dock our payment for the inconvenience." I just stared. My translator was working fine, processing her words correctly, but my brain refused to accept the information it was receiving. Another human, built like a mobile weapons platform with arms, leaned back in his chair. "Name is Marcus. This here is Delilah, Tommy, Rivera, Yuki, Baptiste, and the quiet one in the corner is Frost. We are with Terran Special Operations Group 7. Got a call that this outpost was having some trouble with raiders." "Trouble?" I repeated, my voice coming out as a squeak. "You call 40 Kreevak warriors trouble?" Tommy, a thin human with eyes that looked like they had seen the heat death of the universe and found it mildly amusing, grinned. Buddy, 40 Kreevak is a Tuesday. You should have seen last Thursday. Now that was a party. That was when I noticed the Kreevak commander in the corner. He was bigger than the others, covered in scars, with mandibles that could shear through titanium plating. He was also crying. Actually crying. I looked at Delilah. What did you do to them? Her smile got wider. We introduced ourselves. Properly. Delilah stood up, stretched like she had just finished a pleasant nap instead of subduing an entire raiding party, and walked over to where I was still frozen in the doorway. She crouched down to my eye level, which was thoughtful because most species just loom over us and expect us to deal with the neck pain later. So here is the thing, she said, her voice dropping to what I assume humans consider a whisper, but what still sounded like a threat wrapped in vocal cords. These Kreevak boys showed up thinking this outpost would be easy pickings. Minimal security, isolated location, full of tasty little miners just trying to earn an honest living. They did not bother checking the updated registry. Updated registry? I managed to ask. Marcus joined us, holding what appeared to be a sandwich constructed from items that my scanner could not identify, and frankly, I did not want to know about. 3 weeks ago, the Terran Coalition purchased mining rights to this sector, which means this outpost is now technically human territory, which means when these idiots attacked, they committed an act of war against Earth. The Kreevak commander made a noise that my translator rendered as desperate pleading mixed with existential dread. But we are reasonable people, Tommy added, walking over while shuffling his cards with one hand in a way that definitely should not be physically possible. We figured maybe they just made an honest mistake. Did not see the paperwork. You know how it is. Bureaucracy moves slow, news travels slower. Rivera, who had been silent until now, spoke up from her position near the window. So we gave them a choice. They could either face formal charges, which would mean Earth's military shows up and nobody wants that, or they could help us with a little problem we have been tracking. Problem? I asked, because apparently I enjoy walking into verbal traps. Frost, the quiet one, finally moved from his corner. When he spoke, his voice was barely above a whisper, but somehow it cut through every other sound in the room like a knife through diplomatic relations. There is a slave trafficking operation running through this sector. Moving people, selling them to the highest bidder. We have been hunting the operation for 2 months. Lost the trail 3 times. But the Kreevak, see, they have excellent noses. Oh no. Oh no no no. I suddenly understood exactly what was happening, and my survival instincts went from screaming to just lying down and accepting death as inevitable. You are using the Kreevak as hunting dogs, I said flatly. Delilah beamed at me like I had just solved a particularly difficult math equation. See? Smart cookie. Yeah, we figured these guys owe us for the whole invading human territory thing, and they have tracking abilities that make our sensors look like ancient garbage. So they're going to help us find the traffickers. We are going to shut down the operation, and everybody goes home happy. Except the traffickers. They are going to have a very bad day. Baptiste, who I now noticed was casually cleaning a weapon that my database classified as illegal in 42 systems, laughed. The Kreevak commander tried to negotiate. Said his people would pay reparations. Offered us 3 ships full of platinum. Even threw in some ancient artifacts from their homeworld. We told him we do not want his stuff. We want his help, Yuki added, her tone suggesting this was the most reasonable request in the galaxy. Plus, honestly, watching a Kreevak warrior try to be stealthy is hilarious. They are like oversized armored puppies when they are not trying to murder you. The Kreevak commander made another noise, this one translated as offended dignity mixed with reluctant agreement. Marcus finished his sandwich and wiped his hands on his pants. So, little buddy, you are going to go back to your superiors and tell them that Outpost Vex-Nine is secure. Tell them the raider problem has been handled. Do not mention us specifically because our mission is technically classified, but you can tell them that human security forces responded appropriately. Appropriately, I repeated, looking at 40-bound Kreevak warriors. Very appropriately, Delilah confirmed. Tommy walked over and handed me a data chip. Also, give this to your commerce authority. It is a full report on the slave trafficking ring, including routes, participants, and financial records. We are going to dismantle the operation, but we figured your people might want to handle the legal prosecution side. You guys love paperwork. I took the chip with a trembling appendage. The galaxy is terrified of humanity. You know that, right? Every species out here has nightmares about what happened to the Kalthen. And now I am going to have to report that your special forces are somehow even worse than your regular military. Rivera grinned. Not worse, just more creative. We are problem solvers, Baptiste added cheerfully. Frost just stared at me with those cold, ancient eyes. Tell them we said hello. I backed toward the door, my scanner clutched against my chest like it could protect me from the existential terror of dealing with humans. I am putting in for hazard pay and a transfer to the other side of the galaxy. Maybe another galaxy entirely. Delilah waved at me. Safe travels, little guy? Oh, and if you run into any more raiders on your way home, just mention you are under Terran protection. That should clear things up pretty quick. I fled, sprinted back to my shuttle faster than my species has moved since we discovered fire. As I launched and cleared the station, I looked back one last time. Through the cafeteria window, I could see the 7 humans had returned to their card game, completely relaxed, while 40 Kreevak warriors sat in defeated silence. I opened a communication channel to Horvath. This is Qix. Outpost Vex-Nine is secure. Also, I quit. You cannot quit, Horvath bubbled back. Watch me. I am done. Finished. I am going to retire to a nice quiet asteroid somewhere and spend the rest of my life not meeting humans. Especially not their special forces. Horvath sighed, which sounds like gas escaping through a valve because, well, that is exactly what it is. Did they really scare you that badly? I thought about Delilah's smile. Marcus's casual confidence. The way Frost spoke in whispers that felt like death warmed over. The fact that they had turned the galaxy's most feared warriors into reluctant tracking animals with apparently zero effort. Horvath, I said slowly. The galaxy was already afraid of humanity. We built exclusion zones. We rewrote first contact protocols. We literally changed how we approach unknown space. But their special forces? They are what nightmares have nightmares about. And the worst part? They were nice about it. Nice. That somehow makes it worse. I set course for the nearest station with a bar, because I was going to need approximately 7 drinks before I filed this report. And then I was going to need 7 more before I could sleep without seeing those smiling human faces in my dreams. The galaxy feared humanity. Then we met their special forces. Now we just avoid them entirely and hope they never decide we are a problem that needs solving. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.